Representative Lauren Boebert, a Republican from Colorado, and Carly Pearson have a few things in common. They are both white women. They are both now Lauren Boebert's a horrible mother. Um, now basically Lauren Boebert is from Florida, and Carly Pearson is from Colorado, and that is where the fucking similarities end. When I saw um when Carly Pearson saw one of the state's representatives in Congress post a Christmas card from hell with a picture of her and the kids around the tree and clutching their dildos after a deadly school shooting in Michigan, I had to fucking say something. To be clear, Bulbert's brand of outrage is nothing new. She's a fucking wannabe Donald Trump dictator in a fucking dress. Her fucking heartlessness isn't even really worth writing an opinion column about, except to point out that people like Boebert and Representative Thomas Massey, who's a Republican from Kentucky, don't give a fuck about the gun violence and trauma we are constantly cycling through as a nation, and they are the fucking problem. Mass shootings are an ubiquitous part of American life, but we don't have to accept that as the fucking status quo. But similarly, we must not accept that our representatives in government threaten our members of Congress and taunt the traumatized families with their armed tyranny. Now, these displays of wanton disregard for peace and security must have damn consequences. Now, the Founding Fathers say, now, the thing about this is that now I'm not about to tell you that the Second Amendment doesn't say you can't have guns because it clearly says you can, and the U.S. Supreme Court agrees with that. That question has been asked and answered many times over and over. But in our failure to adequately teach American history and civics, we forget that the Second Amendment has an important context that should accompany its interpretation. Specifically, the Founding Fathers were absolutely terrified of standing armies, and gun ownership was common for a variety of practical reasons that didn't always have to include with self-defense. Now, where did America go fucking wrong? The problem isn't with the guns, the problem is us. Our taste for gun violence is a uniquely American crisis, and I say that as someone, and for someone like Carly Pearson that has lived in Switzerland and off and on, a country armed to the teeth with 0 school shootings annually. It is a sense of exceptionalism that our nation is known for, and the reckless interpretation of those 27 words like the Second Amendment by gun lobbyists, the NRA and their sycophants have, since the late 1990s, had a devastating effect on American life. Now, I mentioned the 90s because it was in 1999 that the Columbine school shooting in Colorado happened, when 2 students went on the gun rampage, killing 13 people. Now, every time a Republican posts a picture of themselves and their family snuggled up to the muzzle with their dildos immediately after a school shooting, I wonder what the Founding Fathers would think if they knew that this is what has become of the fucking Second Amendment. Now, surely they would find it infinitely sad, infinitely pathetic that we have not made what they call the necessary changes to this. And now we are the source of our own tyranny. We are also the solution, but we must look to our God-given common sense to solve this uniquely American crisis. And common sense begs us to do better in electing our representatives and getting rid of them when they cross a fucking line. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel RBW King, and also hit the notification bell so that you may know if a new video comes out. And thanks for listening.